I'll just ask it. You might have already mentioned kind of what the answer would be, but do you do any work like directly with communities of color in Providence? And like, if so, what?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we've always tried to work with groups all over um, the city, and now with the strategic plan, which we've called democratizing preservation. Again, we're just trying to be more intentional about what projects we engage in, and prioritizing people over buildings. We love buildings, we always will, but it's the people who own and use those buildings that are more important. So I can think of three examples off the top of my head. One is engaging with our friends in South Providence, SPNA, the South Providence Neighborhood Association, and trying to, get a better understanding of what their understanding of preservation is, and how we can work together in future, and just really trying to build a solid friendship and relationship. A lot of times it doesn't matter where you are, a building project can just kind of pop up out of nowhere, it seems like. And so we don't want to just come in to a neighborhood when there's a threat. We want to make sure we already have a relationship. So South Providence is one that's going on, and I'm not the staff person for that, so I would encourage you to look at our website for more information. But I am engaged with the Prince Hall Masons, also in South Providence. Their group, a Masonic lodge, is turning 225 years old this year, and they were designated 225 years ago as free Black. So I think it's an extraordinary Black institution that we have here in the city of Providence. They suffered a devastating fire 2 years ago, well, 2 Christmases ago, and of their lodge, which turns out to be an 1893 wooden schoolhouse, public schoolhouse in Providence on Eddy Street. And so we're working with them, trying to figure out how they can rebuild, restore the building, and also make an addition. So since this, tragic thing happened, how can they, dream about how they would use an addition to the building, or be able to fulfill their mission, doing this forced work on the property. And then I'm also working with a group of leaders from the Cape Verdean leadership, the displaced community of Cape Verdeans who were in Fox Point for a long time, and through these forces we've been talking about, or both mentioned, federal programs, institutional spread on College Hill, PPS's own prioritization of certain neighborhoods or types of buildings previously. Working with them to think about how we, as a traditional preservation organization, can work with them to preserve something that's not there. Most of their buildings are not there anymore. Many were where the I-195 district is today, where the interstate was previously. And, just thinking creatively about preserving memory and living memory when, through no fault of their own, they were displaced and their buildings were removed from the landscape. So those are some examples. The Prince Hall Masons and the Cape Verdeans are both in our most endangered properties list, or both listed this year. And so there's more information on our website about both of them.